And your Vikings, Bears, Vikings, Vikings, Bears, how you want to say it. Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get into the pregame information for you guys as far as go through the stats, the injuries, all that good stuff, the odds, and, of course, who I think is going to win. And then we'll obviously get into the health situation because I know some of you guys are wondering. But, yeah, we're going to address that shortly. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in for you guys. And let's get right to it. All right. So we have the Bears and, of course, the Vikings. Bears are going to be 3-8. Vikings will be 6-5. Game will start at 8:15. It's going to be on ABC or ESPN. Minnesota is favored by 3. Getting over to the game odds, it's going to be over-unders 43.5, plus 137 on the money line for Chicago, and minus 160 on the money line for Minnesota. Getting into the matchup predictor, 37.8% for the Bears, 61.9% for the Vikings. Season leaders, Justin Fields with 1,370 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, who is obviously injured and out. Josh Dobbs will be your quarterback for tonight. Getting into rushing yards as far as for Foreman, 381 yards, 4 touchdowns. Madison having a great season, 542 yards and 148 carries. Hockenson balling out, 75 receptions on 736 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, not too bad for where he is right now, to be honest. I don't think many people really expected him to be the player that he is. Then shout out to Moore coming in with 889 yards, 6 touchdowns. As far as the injury report, you have Tyreek Stevenson, Dominique Robinson, Noah Sewell, Nathan Peterman, and Quindell Johnson inactive. For the Vikings, you have Nick Vigil, Chris Reed, Nick Muse, Jaron Hall, and Caleb Evans. Now looking at the last 5 for the Bears, obviously you have the loss to Detroit, which was a very interesting one. The Bears probably should have won that game. 31-26, they had the win against Carolina, 16-13. Lost to the Saints, 24-17. Lost to the Chargers, 30-13, and then beat the Raiders, 30-12. Now on the flip side for the Vikings, they literally just had their first loss in a 4-game win streak against the Broncos in a 1-point game, 21-20. Took the loss there, but they beat the Saints, they beat Atlanta, they beat Green Bay, and they beat the 49ers. So, yeah, I do think this is definitely going to be a great game tonight as far as, with these Vikings being at home. It is supposed to be very cold. They were saying 29 degrees. I mean, they're obviously in a dome there, so it shouldn't be too bad. But 29 degrees. And like I said, the Minnesota line is at 43.5 for your over-under. All right, shout out to you guys because I know everyone's wondering, Jay, what's going on? Well, listen, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I had every intention as far as streaming tonight. I did. As you guys can see, I made the thumbnail. I took the time to do everything. I took all the medication that I could have to try and fight and combat. I'm not even going to call this thing a cold. This thing is literally a viral infection. And so as the day went on, and I put this thing up, I said, you know what? I want to at least try it. I want to at least try to see if I can do it. So I stared at myself in the mirror for 10 minutes. And I'll try to give the good old first down Vikings. And you know how much energy that took for me. So, unfortunately, tonight I will not be streaming. But I did want to go ahead and just hop on with you guys, talk with you real quick. And just give you some quick insight as far as who I think is going to take the game. So now that that's out the way, and you have no idea how much energy that just took out of me. Quick shout out to Tyler. What up, man? Philip White in the house. Puck says 28 here in Ohio. Yeah, it's starting to get cold here as well, man. It's I think it's here we go. It's 30 outside, and it's supposed to snow soon. Jacob, yeah, man, it's tough. The 1v1 guy speed says Vikings going to win. Jake says, let's go Bears. Shout out to Brian Smith. Says, Jay, good evening from New Orleans. I think Vikings win easily. Shout out to J0. What up, man? Shadow in the house. I always remember when things get too hot, it's always cooler in the shadows. Shout out to you. Lori says, Jay, honey, please just care for yourself and get well. Yeah, like I said, I've been doing all the all the stuff that I know that has worked over the years. And, for the first time, I actually know that I have to go ahead and go to, uh, go see the doctor tomorrow. I made my appointment. I was trying to make it today. They were all booked up. There's some serious stuff going around. And, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want this. Whatever I have, you don't want it. So, if you can avoid people, I'm just telling you right now, stay around your circle because whatever's out there right now, it's not good. It's not good. It's not simple. It's not just a common cold. This thing is nasty. It's very nasty, and I don't want anybody else to get it. It's pretty bad. So tomorrow I will be going in and seeing the doctor, and hopefully I'll probably get some kind of antibiotic, and this should, clear things up. But yeah, all right, let me go ahead and get to the predictions because I know somebody really, really cares about that. I'm going to go ahead and go Vikings at home. I'm going to take them by more than 3, though. I do think Dobbs is going to ball out tonight. Justin Fields, you don't want to sleep on the Bears because they will play a good game. Their defense can step up when you need them to. And it's just going to be whether or not, Justin Fields actually comes to play tonight. That's going to be the question. So, with that said, I do think that the Bears will put up a fight, but Minnesota's probably going to pull this thing out in the end. And my score prediction is probably going to be, 21-14, 21-7, something like that. Something like that. Shout out to you, Father Time. Thanks a lot. Thank you all for the love and support. Much, much appreciated. Shout out to Martin. Says, what's up from LV? Let's watch my Bears choke out another loss. Thanks for being here. Get well soon. Shout out to you, Martin. Much love, man. Bob says, mine was upper respiratory. Listen, I watched the video earlier. I mean, like I said, I'll talk to you guys for the next 17 minutes, 18 minutes until the game starts. But yeah, I watched the video earlier, and there was basically, maybe I can pull it up for you guys. But it was a video showing what's going on over in China. And I know some people don't care about what's going over in China. But it's very important to look at stuff like that because you can kind of understand why I drove past the urgent care today and the parking lot was full. And then when I went to make an appointment, I had to wait till tomorrow. So, yeah, it showed basically that a hospital was full, literally full of people, to the point where it looked like they were inside of a football stadium. It was that bad. So I don't know exactly what's going on or what is happening right now with the upper respiratory stuff and all the sicknesses. But that's something to pay attention to. Something to pay attention to. And like I said, try to keep your circle small. If you don't need to go to that place, don't go. Because right now, whatever this stuff is being spread around very easily. It's highly contagious. And unfortunately, it's not something that you can just take care of at home. So, yeah. And while your son had it, yeah. A couple of the kids had it. Yeah. J0 says maybe it's flu-like symptoms. I have both the vaccines for influenza and the virus. Each side of my shoulders are sore and tender, but from the needle. Yeah, it's really tough because I was very sore the day after Thanksgiving, and I didn't know why. And at the end of the day, you don't really notice stuff. You just go to sleep, and at that point, it's just, it is what it is. So I basically went to sleep, and the next day, I woke up super congested. Cough was absolutely gross. It was disgusting. And, been trying to fight this thing ever since, and unfortunately, here we are on a Monday night, right? I mean, you could say, 1, 2, 3, 4 days? I mean, by 4 days, you should be, recovering at some point. And I just feel like, to be honest, that this thing is getting worse. So, like I said, tomorrow I will be going in, and we'll get this taken care of because I don't like being out of commission as far as when it comes to what I need to do. I definitely had a goal that I wanted to hit this month. Some of you guys don't know. Some of you do. But I have goals. I have goals that I want to hit every month, Obviously, Christmas is coming up and all that kind of stuff. And, this is definitely another opportunity for me to add to the revenue. And, so not only do I have the love of the sport, but, this is like another job for me. And I take it very, very serious. So at the end of the day, this is no different from me having to call in when I actually don't want to, and that's the sad part about it. It's the sad part about it. Tyler says, you need to rest. Yeah, man. Yeah, without a doubt. Bob says, antibiotics and inhaler took care of mine. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming, right? 9 times out of 10, what they normally do is they give you that amoxicillin or whatever, and they might give you a steroid or something like that, and you're pretty good in like 3 or 4 days. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Like I said, I'm to the point now where it's like, all right, I know I got to go in and get something because all this stuff that over the counter doesn't work. Doesn't work. Shout out to my people who know. My people who know. At the end of the day, once you start drinking this, the lemon lime Gatorade, you know that you're sick. Once you start downing these for the electrolytes, you know it's time. And that's where it's headed. I've been literally on this Gatorade for the last 2 days, and when it's all, you can only drink so much of it, and then at that time it's like, all right, I'm exhausted. So it's definitely something. Shout out to you, Amy. Kent says Bills Mafia dedicated. Yeah, man, without a doubt. Sassy says I've been staying home with my autoimmune diseases. Anything can and would take me out. Too many people are sick. Listen, it's bad. It's bad. And me, I have a very, very strong immune system. I really do. I know everybody says that, but I rarely get sick. I rarely get sick. Everybody could be sick in the house, and I'll be fine. I'll be good. And obviously that changes as you get older. But this stuff isn't normal anymore. This stuff is it mutates and becomes something else. And I don't think there's any more common cold out here, to be honest. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. The real Cali says, get well, Jay. I've been sick for 2 weeks myself. Ended up being a respiratory infection. Hope all gets better. That's what I'm saying, man. As far as the the common cold, forget it. It doesn't exist anymore. It's always some like super viral thing or something that we don't want to mention, right? But it's nothing just simple. Like you can just go get you some Alka-Seltzer or take you some Dayquil or some NyQuil and hopefully it'll work. But no, not anymore. This stuff is serious. So, like I said, if you can, stay out of people's faces. I know some of you don't like to wear a mask, but personally, I think right now with the way that people are traveling and Christmas and the holidays and all that stuff, I might actually have to start wearing a mask. I'm just being real with you. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you got to say. Listen, I can't get sick like this. I can't afford it. Some people are okay and they want to go ahead and, take 2-3 weeks off. That's not Jay. That's not Jay. I get sick. I'm trying to be good in 24 hours because I got to get back to work. And for me to have a 3 to 4 day situation where I feel like I can't perform the way that I need to is really a problem for me. So there you go. There you go. Letting you guys know kickoff is going to be in about 25 minutes. And I'm going to Vikings. Like I said, I'm going to Vikings. I'm going to take my by 21-14. I'll give the Bears some leeway. And oh yeah, quick shout out to Immortal. Shout out to you, Immortal, for the donation earlier. I didn't forget about you, my friend. If you're listening in or if you end up watching this, thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. TBE says, I'm in the house. Action Jackson is back. Shout out to you, TBE. Brian says, old school remedy, 1 shot of honey, 1 shot rum, fresh squeezed lemon, the whole lemon. Brian, you think I'm playing when I tell y'all that I'm from that world, this is it right here. That's it. This is what you talk about right here. My friend, I have done it. I have done everything, and nothing is working. So that lets you know. That should let you know how bad this thing is. So there you go. Amy says, in other cultures, they wear them for years as a courtesy to protect others from germs you might share. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Noah says, I'm like you. I don't like being sick. Don't want to be sick. If I'm sick, I have something to do about it. Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. 100%. At the end of the day, it changes, right? We all have responsibilities. We all have things we got to do, you know. And now you have all these kind of viruses and all this kind of stuff in the air, and it's like you can't control it. Especially if you got children, you got kids, and all that kind of stuff, right? They got to go to school unless you do the homeschool thing. But they're interacting with all different kinds of people, and even if you're someone like me who keeps a close circle, they're the ones that I'm around and who will definitely have that access to potentially bring something. And it sucks, but that's just how life goes. So we just got to figure it out. Forrest says, Jay, I got your back because I feel well enough for the both of us. Well, shout out to you, Forrest. Thank you for holding it down. Trent says, how you doing today, Jay? Man, listen, I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to get through. Bob says, I'm taking the Bears for the upset. Okay. Tapo, the game will start at 8:15. 8:15. Jay, I've been listening to you with different names for 3 years off and on. Shout out to you, man. Listen, this is the kind of stuff that makes me realize that I have to do. See, I'm not one of these guys that's just going to sit there and not, go live or not tell you guys what's going on, and you don't hear from me for a few days. No, because I don't do that, right? I understand the community that we have. I understand the loyalty that we have here, and you guys deserve at least the ability to know what's going on, so that you're not sitting around like, yo, where's Jay at 8:15, and then you got to go to someone else. So there it is. Phil sets quarterback rushing tonight in the game, 230 yards. Okay. When I was a bodybuilder, I was 100% bulletproof, never got sick. Things change. You become vulnerable. Your immune system depletes. It's true. It's true. When I was in the gym every day, it was very, very hard for me to get sick. That is very true. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I do thank all of you for supporting me, supporting the channel. Much love to the Wrench Gang. Much love to the family, all of you guys. I will be watching the game, so I'll know what's going on. And but I will be doing it this time from the other side with a cup of tea in my hand. With this stuff in it. So there you go. There you go. Shout out to you guys. Have a good night. And tomorrow, hopefully, after I get this antibiotic, get some rest in me, we'll be able to get through power rankings, predictions for week 13, and then obviously be back at it for Thursday night, which is going to be a very, very important game. Seattle versus Cowboys, Seattle versus Dallas. It's going to be a huge one, so I definitely want to be here for that. All right, everybody. Have a good night.